What conspiracy theory do you believe in the most? This one is more personal, but I fully believe it. Long story short, my father-in-law was good friends with a guy who was pretty high up in Boeing. Like, knew some top secret kinda stuff. Well, he ended up quitting as he couldn't take the pressure. He was a very paranoid person, to the point it was a hindrance to his life. Well, a few months after, he starts telling my Phil that he's being watched and followed and that the government is coming for him. Like I said, insanely paranoid. A few extra details that will be important: he drove a moped as his primary transportation and he was very overweight. Lo and behold, he comes up dead a month or so later. The official story is this: he was riding along when a hitchhiker waved him down. He stopped to pick him up, drove a few miles down the road to a secluded wooded area, pulled off the road, walked into the woods and shot himself. I shouldn't need to explain what's wrong here, but I will anyway. I'm supposed to believe that a guy with crippling paranoia picked up some random hitchhiker and then killed himself. Even if he wasn't paranoid, it's basically impossible for him to fit a small child on his moped with him, let alone a full-grown male adult. No information was ever released about the hitchhiker. No name, no statements to the police, nothing. Sounds legit though, right? I think some memes are started by businesses as a form of free advertising. The recent Duolingo memes got me thinking more about it. Duolingo wasn't a small app at the time, but it became a lot more popular after the fact. There have been other memes revolving around a particular product/brand as well that make me think this is happening on a strategic level beyond some kid thinking it'd be hella funny to do this or that. I'm pretty sure this was happened with the movie Bird Box. It was all over Twitter and other social media before I even heard anything about it from Netflix. That's just a well-made marketing campaign. I believe that the company 23andMe will sell our information to insurance companies and medical companies in the future. Like the CEO was Anne Wojcicki, married to Google co-founder Sergey Brin. That people give themselves Reddit gold to make their comments/posts seem more important. If you had gold on this, it'd be perfect. I believe that the government probably makes some conspiracy theories to try to make questioning the government seem somewhat crazy. I heard this recently about reptilians. Me, yeah, there's no such thing as reptilian aliens running our government and business. My lizard, yes, you are correct, human friend. Now I must topple a government. I mean, eat this fly. Coca-Cola tested HFCS in place of sugar and found that while the taste was similar, people could tell the difference. They brought out new Coke to cleanse people's palates and waited until as much of the original formula products had been sold as they could. Then they cancelled new Coke and brought back Coke Classic, which was the HCFS version, and people didn't have any original stuff left to compare it to. The only reason they made new Coke was to act as a buffer so people wouldn't notice the change in ingredients. I absolutely hate HFCS in my drinks. I went to India over the winter. Over there almost every soda has cane sugar as the sweetener, and I just can't deal with eating corn as my sugar. There's too much fucking corn in American food. I'll have to find the Twitter thread that documents all the uses we've found for corn and how it's in almost everything we eat. Doesn't actually produce his own music. My biggest piece of evidence is the creator arcade videos. He speaks and navigates Ableton like someone with only a basic knowledge of music production. He does everything number by number. Producers don't do that. You can't just instantly know that sound needs a boost of exactly 1 dB at exactly 1.2 kHz without even listening to the sound first. He randomly pauses every now and then, presumably to be fed lines, and he seems to lack even a basic understanding of music theory, recreating MIDI. By randomly clicking in notes with no regard for the key of the song. Someone with the level of skill he demonstrates should not be capable of making radio quality hits. Disney released Frozen so that it would be the top result when searching Disney Frozen, and not anything about Walt's head being cryogenically frozen in the Disney theme park. I don't know how likely that is, on either count actually. 2. Related to the US military. The US government pushed high school football on kids to get them in shape during the Cold War. The US government doesn't have free tuition for colleges due to many members of the military joining specifically to get college paid for. It would massively decrease the enlisted count. The amount to use in laundry detergent cups are 30% higher than necessary. The toothpaste commercials show them coating the whole brush in a little caterpillar-sized glob of toothpaste, but really you only need a tiny pea-sized amount. They also only put foaming agents in soap and shampoo to give the user a tactile sensation, and the amount of suds your soap produces is really mostly just for funsies, so you'll use too much at once, run out sooner, and buy more often. It's the surfactants that really have the washing properties. Area 51 is just a front that was allowed to become popular in the public eye, but actually has nothing of value. Not saying aliens in bases exist, just saying Area 51 is allowed to be the popular secret base thing to cover up actual secrets. I must correct my previous statement. Camp David is a retreat, not an emergency location. However, that could also be a front. Also, not downplaying what the airmen at 51 do, just saying that what they do now is not likely as top secret as people are led to believe. Guys, remember the end of the world theory that the rapture would happen on May 21, 2011? Macho Man Randy Savage died on May 20, 2011. Basically, Macho Man Randy Savage died to save humanity, shouldering all of our sins. Oh yeah. That our phones are always recording, at least audio, to target advertising of course, but more secret agent things as well. My mother-in-law talking at dinner about how hard it is to train for a marathon now that she is over the age of 55. I get ads all over Reddit/Google/whatever that read over 50 and a runner. Check out this random product. Within 4 hours of the conversation. I know there was a bunch of stuff about this, but I think every company denied it. Could be wrong though. I remember a couple years back I had a pain in the back of my mouth and went to the school nurse and told her I thought it was my wisdom teeth coming in. It was. A couple minutes later, my Instagram Explore page had a bunch of stuff about wisdom teeth removal. I was talking to my mom the other day about getting a present for someone leaving our office. My mom and I work in the same office, and we decided on naming a star after them. Opened up my phone and instantly saw an ad for the star naming site. I literally listed the suggested. To this day my weirdest experience in this was over Christmas. My mom got my mother-in-law Omaha steaks as a gift. I called my mother-in-law to make sure she got it and said how much she loves Omaha steaks. I get off the phone and open Facebook and the first immediate ad was for Omaha steaks. If it's still a conspiracy theory. Why does my phone suddenly develop unseen issues when the new one is released? It's not a coincidence. And who even asked for these tech companies to release a new phone every year? We live in a time where technology is now growing at a rather slower pace compared to the 2000s when there was rapid innovation. It's not like my current phone is getting crappier in 1 year, but wait, it is. Applies to phones, tablets, smartwatches, basically most, rather expensive, internet-connected devices receiving updates.